This
button.
conference will
Um,
now be recorded.
yeah, this conference will now be recorded, as it says. So if you have anything to say and you're not sure if you're muted, because it's recorded, make sure to, be mindful of that. So the very first thing, I want to thank everybody for being here. And if you are online, you're seeing on the very first page of the PowerPoint here, the all new Networking Today revised logo. So we have revised the logo. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. I hope you feel the same way. Any of you that need the revised logo, let me know. I'm going to work to put a PNG and a JPEG image of the new logo on the website in the meeting leader resources for any of you that use the logo. And I'll try to include all the versions for you so that you can use the different versions as well. But I am very excited. It's not changed much. Those of you that are not looking online, don't worry. It's not changed a lot. Just a little tweak to the icon and to the font style of Networking Today. So, but that being said, welcome everybody to the NTI Leader Call. Also, one of the other things I want to point out real quick is you're going to notice the new tagline for the company, encouraging better business relationships. So we're going to revise the website. We're revising a lot of different things, making it look fresh and new, and a lot of things that we're doing to go along these lines. And I've tried my hardest with the team to boil down into the fewest number of words what it is that we do at Networking Today. And what we do, in my opinion, and in the opinion of those that I consulted, is that we encourage better business relationships. We do that through a lot of different ways, via a lot of different ways, but that's what we do. So you're going to notice that on the slide as well. Begin helping me promote that in all of your social media and everywhere where you're at. Make sure that you are talking about Networking Today, encouraging better business relationships. But I am so glad all of you are here. Let's dig right into it. We have a lot to cover today. Number one, a little conference call etiquette. Please mute your phone line if you don't know if you're muted. Please don't eat, use the bathroom, yell at the children, answer the door, answer another call, or talk bad about the call host. That's all very bad etiquette if you do that, so make sure to be courteous. If you're on vacation, for example, it is a great time to mute the phone line and still ride that roller coaster, eat the corn dog or whatever it is that you're doing. Have fun. Don't let me stop you from having fun, but make sure just to use a little NTI call etiquette. That would be fabulous. Thank you. I have muted all the lines, but somehow, some way, someone's call audio always gets through. And I don't exactly know how that happens. I'm going to talk to GoToMeeting about that, but make sure and mute your phone line if you would, please. That'd be wonderful. Welcome to all the new meeting leaders. If you're here today and this is your very first call, so glad that you're here. We have a lot to cover. We always jam a lot in. One of the first things I like to do is talk about servant leadership. Everybody that has been on this call for the last year, 2 years, 3 years, you know that I like to talk about servant leadership. And according to the Center for Servant Leadership, they define that as a philosophy and a, quote, set of practices that enriches the lives of individuals, better organizations like your networking meeting, your company, etc., and creates a more just and caring world, or community is what I like to call it. I'm gonna tweak that paragraph eventually to make it, fit us. But it's a philosophy and a set of practices that enriches the lives of our members, builds better meeting locations, and ultimately creates a more just and caring community. So what are we talking about this week? Well, on the call 2 weeks ago, we talked about being understanding, being sympathetic to others, and I talked about how hard that is for me as a servant leader. One of the things that distinguishes you as a leader, as a meeting leader of Networking Today, is your ability to be understanding and sympathetic to what other people are feeling. And then also being willing to forgive. I reminded everybody on the last call that it's important to give people room to grow. You have not always been the pro networker that you are today, and some people are just getting started. Do you know, ladies and gentlemen, that not last week because it was 4th of July, but the week prior, we had a visitor to Networking Today main event, my meeting, and it was their very first networking meeting ever. They didn't know what was going on. And so it's a great opportunity to teach people and to be understanding. This week, what I want to talk to you about today is being dependable. Think of those people in your life that you know that you cannot depend on. You say, "Oh, Rich, why are you playing to the negative? Why are you going to? Why not stay to the positive and speak what it means about how you feel about people who are dependable?" And I would love to do that. But here's where I want to go with this. What feelings run through your mind as you think about those people in your life that you cannot depend on? Not just in your life, but what about in your meeting? Do you have people in your meeting location that you know you can depend on each and every week, each and every time, to be helpful, to help you set the meeting up, hand out literature, visitor host team, inspirational thought, your business spotlight coordinator, whatever it is? These are people who are dependable. They are gold, in my opinion. And I wanted to say to everybody that even a volunteer army needs to be a dependable army, or you have no army. And one of the things about being a meeting leader at Networking Today is it's not 100% voluntary. I mean, it's not mandatory either. But if you're not a meeting leader, you don't get a free membership, you don't get any compensation, you don't get any of that kind of thing. But so in that regard, it's not, quote, purely voluntary. But in the sense of being voluntary, look, no one on earth makes you stay a meeting leader. I realize I cannot force you to be a meeting leader. And guys, what I want to talk to you about right here is our attendance policy. Someone said to me this last week, "Rich, the no attendance policy of Networking Today is a double-edged sword. It's a blessing to Networking Today and to others, but it is also the biggest thing that is a curse to Networking Today and to others because people don't have to come." Well, let me just say to everyone on the call that I've been a long-time networker. I've been networking for years and years, and I have never seen an attendance policy make someone be dependable. I've never seen an attendance policy make someone show up, ever. Like, for example, any one of you on today's call, do you realize that I realize I cannot make you be a meeting leader? This is very much something you do for your own reasons. I'm glad you are. I'm ecstatic that you are. Together, we're changing the face of what, defines networking. We are carving a trail that no one else is doing, bringing solutions that no one else has, as everyone else is just either BNI or a BNI knockoff. Not that that's a bad thing, but that's what most of them are. But do you realize what we're doing together and how thankful I am for all of you and your willingness to do this? What about me? I'm the president, I'm the CEO, I'm the founder of Networking Today. I realize I don't have to be here. If I made a choice today to walk away from Networking Today and walk away from my meeting and walk away from everything that we have built together, right? I could. There's nothing making me be here. There's nothing making you be here. Well, remember this. This goes all the way down to our members. There's nothing making our members show up. No attendance policy is going to make them show up. The only thing that makes them show up is that they want to be a part of your meeting. And this, my friends, is why the, quote, share the Kool-Aid contest is what it is. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that contest in just a little bit, but I'm going to come back to this issue of dependability, and I'm going to circle around when I talk about the Kool-Aid contest here in just a few minutes. But I wanted to put this word of dependability out there, and I wanted you to think about it as the meeting leader, not only from yourself, realizing that you yourself are not forced to be here, neither are your members forced to be here. And I don't want that to bother you. Instead, let it encourage you that the members that show up, the meeting leaders that show up every week and faithfully lead their meetings, are doing so because they want to, not because they have to. Isn't that a blessing? Isn't that what we want? Don't we all want our children to do their chores because they want to, not because they have to? Don't we all want our children to obey and clean their rooms or do the dishes or help us vacuum because they want to, not because they have to? Don't you want your spouse to love you because they want to, not because they have to? Think about the best relationship. Think about your church. Okay? When you go to church, what pastor do you want that has the mindset that I have to be there to preach? What pastor do you want that instead would say, I love being your pastor and I love being here with you every Sunday? Or the congregation. It bleeds over into so much of life. And I hope with every ounce that is within me that I can convince those of you who are meeting leaders at Networking Today to believe, to buy into, deep-rooted in your heart, this notion that it is better to have people who want to be here instead of those that have to be here. That meeting leaders that want to be here. I assume all of you are meeting leaders, and maybe this is a bad assumption. You know what they say about assuming, but I assume every meeting leader is here because they want to be, not because they have to be. And that will encourage me. So even if you feel for some reason that you have to be, just humor me and say, Rich, I'm here because I want to be here. And that will warm every ounce of my heart, I promise you. And let that bleed over into your meeting. Give recognition and appreciation to those members that are dependable and faithful to your meeting each and every week. And I believe this is a practice that we as meeting leaders need to be reminded of, that this volunteer army, this volunteer group of people that come, God bless them, and I hope you're blessing them. And I hope that you are loving on them because they are what make us a group. All the way down to you, your meeting, your members, all of us together combined make Networking Today in America and around the world. We all are one, and that's what does it in this volunteer army. So I just wanted to share that with each and every one of you, the power of being dependable, all the way down to you as a meeting leader and everybody in your life. Okay, moving right along because we do have a lot to cover. I want to remind everybody about the new member incentive program. The new member incentive program is even in effect during the contest period. However, I would like to point out that let's see here, how can I say this without, making anyone feel like I'm talking about them? I'm not talking about anyone in particular here, but there may be some members or meeting leaders out there that are trying to, let's say, I don't know how to say this, play the game, right? We know in accounting, we know those members that sign up that are repeat members. They sign up during contest periods and things like that, and for new member incentives and contests, and then they bail 60 to 90 days later, okay? We know their names. We keep a running list, and every contest we have, we compare those names against that list, and those people are not counted. So if any of you out there have ever said, hey, what about John Doe? Well, John Doe, he got recognition for you last time. So just know how this system works, okay? We know that some of that might happen. Help us prevent that from happening, guys. I need the meeting leaders to give us a hand in making sure that that doesn't happen out there, and just encourage people to get new people. Not the person. Now, look, we do want the people back that maybe were members a year ago or whatever and coming back to us for sure. But we want them back as longtime members, not just monthly members and then they're out in 60 days. Okay, so we're looking for long-term, faithful members and new members at that. Okay. Now then, I want to talk to you a little bit about the Kool-Aid contest. Okay, now this is new to a lot of you, but 2 years ago, we launched the Share the Kool-Aid contest, and it was a blast. It was a riot. At first, a couple of people questioned the idea, people are like, Rich, share the Kool-Aid. Doesn't that have negative connotation to a tragic situation by a crazy cult leader, religious cult leader? Yes, in some regard it does. Okay, but today, modern, if there were an urban dictionary, if there were modern societal common a place for us to go to look at common phrases and things like that had share the Kool-Aid or drink the Kool-Aid, it is very frequently referred to as something like, oh, you've drunk the Kool-Aid. The immediate connection is to the guy down, the Jones guy that had the tragedies of all the situation there. But it's talking about a cult-like movement. And so what I want to talk to you guys about is it's all in how you spin this, okay? If you spin this, or if you see it as, tragic, or if any of your members say, doesn't this have negative connotation? You say, no. We're talking about brands like Apple or brands like Starbucks, right? Or brands like Chick-fil-A. Look, ladies and gentlemen, here's a very important thing that I've realized. You love it. Maybe you love it like I do. When I'm driving past the Chick-fil-A and I see people, the line is like 1 mile long, and there's people dressed up in cow outfits, right? They've got cow noses and cow heads on and cow costumes on. They have, quote, drunk the Kool-Aid in the cult-like following that Chick-fil-A has created. Now, you say, well, Rich, you're stretching it there. But I think that common, like I say, societal definition of this idea of sharing the Kool-Aid is more positive. I don't think the immediate thought by the majority is referencing the tragedy. I think most think of it in the cult-like following of a brand. And that is what we're trying to create here. And so make it fun. I've had a couple of people say things to me here in Knoxville, face-to-face, not over the phone, text. They've come up to me and say, hey, Rich, isn't this about? No, man, we're just talking about having fun with it and drinking the NTI Kool-Aid of what we're trying to build, right? And so make it fun. If you choose not to participate in the contest, or if you have members that don't want to participate because of the negative vibe or whatever that this may conjure up in their minds, I that would sadden me a little bit. But you know what? I respect their decision, and I hope that they will respect ours and know that we don't have any ill thought. We don't mean any harm to anyone in this idea. It is just the Kool-Aid is an easy thing to share. It's an easy thing to talk about, an easy thing to remember. So if you get excited about it and make it fun, we will grow networking today, which is the ultimate purpose here, to give us more members, which leads to more relationships, which leads to more referrals, which leads to more revenue. And that is the whole idea behind this. So anyone that respectfully, wants to bow out of the contest because of that or abstain, I have no problem with that at all, and respect that decision. Those that do want to get involved, though, I think they'll have a lot of fun with it. One particular meeting leader said on our call a couple of weeks ago that she has a member that they're having like a Kool-Aid party or a Kool-Aid day. They're making it really fun. And that is one of the things that you can do. And I think if you put a positive spin on it, you can have fun too. But make sure to help us push this. Now, keep in mind that we are using the NTI visitor follow-up system to track the visitors. You have to use the NTI visitor follow-up system or these visitors will not be tracked. Of course, any new member that signs up, when the members sign up, they have to put in the block who told them about networking today in order to join, okay? Now, what we don't want is we don't want anyone manipulating. We don't want any meeting leaders manipulating members who may have visited another meeting, or maybe, John Doe told them about networking today and they were going to put in John Doe, but because the meeting leader is sitting with them right there at the moment, Todd decides, hey, put my name in there instead of, John Doe's. Make sure not to do that. Just be fair with everybody and it'll be fun for everybody involved, okay? Make sure to push this and push it big. It is a great time to schedule a visitor's day. Oh, by the way, before I leave that last point, the NTI visitor follow-up system may be new to some of you. If some of you on today's call have never heard of the visitor follow-up system, you don't know what I'm talking about, shoot me a text, reach out to Meeting Leader Support, let me know, let Meeting Leader Support know so we can show it to you. But if you go into the Meeting Leader Resources page that is designed for all of us, there's a button there that will take you directly to the visitor follow-up system. Once there, simply choose your location and add in your visitors. You need a first name, a last name, an email address, and a cell number, which is usually on anyone's business card, which is what I get from all visitors that come to my meeting. Plus, we will write on the card the name of the person that invited them. So we have John Doe and Jane Doe invited John. We write Jane Doe on John's card, and that way we can track who referred them. So we want to make sure to track who referred them so that they get credit for the contest in the visitor follow-up system. Okay? Now, it's a fantastic time in the next couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks, to schedule a visitor's day. You say, Rich, I don't have enough time to schedule a visitor's day. Sure you do. You have until August the 16th before the contest runs out. You only need 2 weeks to schedule a visitor's day. Get one on the books. It's a great time to do one. You say, Rich, we just had one. Well, what about a happy hour? Invite people out to a happy hour. That is another great thing you can do. Or what about another type of event? You can do a lot of different events to get people to your meeting. And I encourage now to be a great time to do that. Terry Moore up in Indianapolis one time had an entrepreneur day. That is another thing you could do, is invite entrepreneurs in. And that is something that you could do. But now is the time to really focus on that. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about Share the Kool-Aid and how that works with the Dependable issue, our word of the day that I talked about a few minutes ago. Okay, and that is this: our membership grows through members, and I hope that you are not doing all of the heavy lifting. I hope all you do is run a really wonderful meeting, but you have to cast the vision for your members to get an idea of what is possible. I was at a meeting that is relaunching not long ago here in the Knoxville area. There were 6 members in the room, and everyone felt very shallow. Everyone felt, man, this is not a very big group. I looked at everybody and I said, does everybody in the room realize that if each one of us just brought one person to this meeting next week, obviously, to state the inane, we would double in size, but we would have 12. If all 12 of us then committed to bring one the following week, we would have a 24-member meeting location. And you can very quickly grow by just encouraging people to bring one, not to bring 5, not to bring 10 visitors, but you can grow tremendously. But you set that vision out there. Wow, if all of us just brought one, we would have 12 people. And it helps our members not feel so small of a group, even though 6 to 12, 15 members is not a bad group at all. But those of us that want bigger numbers, we want a 30, 40, 50 member chapter. Or if you're a 30, 40, 50 member chapter today and you want to be a 100 member chapter, cast that vision out. Say to your group of 50, can you imagine what would be talked about? Can you imagine what the newspaper would say? Can you imagine what Facebook would say? Can you imagine what the other networking meetings in our area would be saying about us? If we had 100 people coming to the meeting every week, the energy, the volume, the synergy that would begin to create, the relationships, the referrals, the revenue, the opportunity, and it creates an energy that is contagious, and it spills out over into everything else that you do. And that is what you can do very, very easily. Have a visitor day, give your people that vision, staple the Be Our Guest card to a little packet of Kool-Aid, say, share the Kool-Aid of what we're doing here at Networking Today, and make it fun. All right? And don't worry, we'll have another contest very soon, and it won't be about Kool-Aid for those of you that, don't like the idea, and that's fine too, okay? Either way. But now's a great time to do that. I also wanted to remind everybody on today's call that we have a new meeting incentive program. And many of you know about this, and some of you are starting to receive money from Networking Today for meetings that have started in your area, okay? And I congratulate you, okay? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to start having a webinar every other Tuesday. So it will be on the same day as our meeting leader calls. So tonight will be we'll have the webinar, and this will be an intro webinar to NTI, okay? So every other Tuesday, it will be at 7 p.m. Eastern. It will last for 20 minutes. We will use GoToMeeting. You will text the first name, last name, and the word webinar to me at 865-679-0340, okay? I just want to remind everybody that if you know of somebody that would like to start a meeting and they want more information, or they want to just dip their toe in and just see if they're even remotely interested, you can share this on your Facebook page. You can share this on your LinkedIn page, but the webinar will be tonight. You want to make sure that anyone you direct to the webinar, that they tell us you are the referring member. If someone launches a meeting, we ask them who influenced you to start your meeting. If they don't give us your name at the time that they launch their meeting, then you don't get the credit. Whoever's name they put in there is who gets the credit for them launching their meeting. If you want the credit, make sure to follow up with those people and just say, hey, what did you think? Can I help you start your meeting? Do you have any questions, anything like that, anything I can help you with? Or at the very least, make sure to say, hey, let me know if you decide to start that meeting, because I do get credit for it at Networking Today if you start it. So, just put that out there. And but all are invited, and you can text me for the details, and I will make sure and share that with everybody, okay? But I wanted to also remind everybody how the new meeting incentive program works. The way it works is once the meeting gets to 10 members, then you earn $250, okay? Then from there, when we work to get it to 20 members, 30 members, 40 members, 50 members and growing, we compensate in the new meeting incentive program residually annually, so you're always getting that money coming in for meetings that you help start. I'm sending one particular meeting leader over $1,000 from last month just off of meetings that she helped get started. That can pay your mortgage, can buy a couple of cars, can buy you a new Bentley. I don't know what you would do with $1,000 a month, but just by telling a few people about Networking Today, you can truly grow your own revenue just from helping Networking Today grow. All right. So just a little reminder out there. Okay. Now I'm going to talk to you guys. Each and every call we have a meeting leader moment. And what I want to talk to you guys about, just very quickly, we talked about this in the past, but that's leader burnout. And what I want to talk to you about is this. At BNI, every year, the existing leaders, the president, vice president, and treasurer, they handpick the new leaders for the new year, okay? So what happens every October, BNI changes leaders. We don't do that at Networking Today. We keep the same leader in place each and every year. We don't force rotate out. But that does not mean that you can't rotate out, okay? That does not mean that your meeting should die or that your meeting should go away because you need a break. Look, I don't look at it as a negative when a meeting leader calls me and says, Rich, I have to step down. I need a break. I've been leading this meeting for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And I've just got some other things I want to do, whatever it is, whatever the reason. Health issues, kid issues, job issues, time issues, it doesn't matter to me. But what I want to say is the reason why we don't force a meeting leader change like BNI does each and every year, is because we have a lot of meeting leaders who are wonderful. And those meeting leaders have worked hard to build their network, their sphere of influence, their community, their tribe, as Seth Godin calls it. And we don't feel that it's right that networking today should force the turnover. Listen, my last BNI chapter that I belonged to a 46-member chapter. A lot of that 46 members was driven by me and people that were close to me, but we drove that chapter to 46 members. We had 3 of the best leaders that I've ever seen run a meeting, okay? They were wonderful. October came, we had our change of the guard, so to speak, a change of leadership, and we dropped to 19 members because the 3 leaders that came in were horrible. I don't mean to be mean, but they were horrible. They were of a completely opposite spirit, a completely opposite 180-degree difference in personality. And it destroyed the meeting because the previous personalities had attracted all of the people in the room to begin with. Now, what you do to avoid burnout is to make sure to delegate work. You have to be a delegator. Otherwise, you're carrying all of the load. And this is why the Share the Kool-Aid contest and the other contests that we have are so important. That is why we encourage the new member incentive program and encourage you to maintain the new member incentive program during the Share the Kool-Aid contest, is because we want to incentivize our members to help grow. So when you are promoting the Share the Kool-Aid contest, when you are promoting the new member incentive program, when you're promoting the new meeting location incentive program, when you're promoting these things, all of these things go to help support you in your meeting. That delegation to others should mean that you should not have to spend even 15 minutes on your individual meeting because you have others helping you carry the load, others helping you grow the meeting. One particular meeting leader that I'm thinking of right at this very second, I think has a belief in his heart that is his responsibility to grow the meeting and that no one will come if he doesn't grow the meeting. Listen, friend, fellow meeting leader, that is not your job. That doesn't mean you won't bring people, but if all of us are committed, especially during a contest, to bring people to a visitor's day, to a meeting, to have fun and network and grow your business in your sphere of influence, which is what all of us should be believing in anyway, it is a great opportunity to give our members the chance to help us build a great meeting. But make sure you're always using pronouns like, us, right? We want to use we, not I and me. We want to use us and we, what we can build, what we have done, what we can do together, not what I am doing or what I have built, because it is not I. If it is I, then you're doing all the heavy lifting on your own. And make sure that you talk to people and give people the chance to help you grow, okay? That is one of the things that you can do to avoid leader burnout. But also have a right-hand person, right-hand man, right-hand woman, doesn't matter. Have someone that when you need a couple of weeks off, for, again, whatever the reason, then you have someone that can lead your meeting for you, okay? I have tons of people in my group that I would feel very confident in leading my meeting. Maybe you don't have people now, but begin to expose people to it. Say, hey, I need somebody. Even if you don't, I'd like someone else to lead. And that way you're training and cultivating that other person to be able to help you. If you are not a networker, if you don't believe in networking, if you don't believe that networking is the way to drive 90 to 95% of your revenue in your business, then you're going to have a hard time of convincing other people to lead your meeting. You have to believe in networking. You have to believe in the power of networking. I was at a meeting. I'm going to tell the story and I'm going to close with this idea. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. I was at a meeting last week. A particular member said that 65% of his annual revenue comes from direct referrals from Networking Today, but that it took him 6 months to get his first referral and 2.5 years to build up to 65% of his business. So if networking in general, whether BNI, Networking Today, Chamber, whatever, if networking is not working for you, then I would suggest that you're not networking properly. And maybe there's some things I can do to help coach you through that process, okay, through networking properly and using your relationships to help you grow your business. All right, I want to help. But the one thing that I want to also make sure and help with is avoiding leader burnout. If you're going to network, why not be the leader is what I believe. If you're going to network. If you're not going to network at all, well, no big deal. But if you are going to network, be the leader, delegate to others. You don't have to carry the whole load on your own. Get help. And there are others out there. Missy Martin, for example, did a speech. And by the way, Mark Williams talked about this as well. They did a speech on a meeting leader moment where if any of you, want me to grab that, audio clip, I can do it and share it with you. But they talked about how they spend less than 30 minutes a week, less than 20 minutes a week on managing their meeting. It doesn't have to take you long. Make sure that you're not burning yourself out. Get help, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Get help. Don't burn yourself out in your business, in your networking group, or in anything of life. You have to take time to rest, and you have to get help to do what we do because you're drivers. I know you guys. You're leaders. On the DISC scale, you guys are high I's and high D's. And those types of personalities, like mine, like yours, we want to lead. We want to do everything. We want everything done our way. That's how we're built. It's just our DNA. It's the way we think. And so we have a very hard time turning it over to someone else because someone else doesn't do it the way that we want them to do it or whatever. There are certain things we need them to do certain things properly, but otherwise let them do it in their own personality. And I think you'll go far with it. All right. Enough of that. I wanted to remind you of the meeting leader support. We have had some growing pains. Some of you need literature. Some of you have needed literature. We've got a lot of you taken care of. If you still need something, please let me hear from you. You can send me an email. You can reach out to Meeting Leader Support again. One of the best things, if you need something and you haven't received it, send a current email to support@networkingtoday.com. We'll get that and we'll take care of it. Or call the number 865-245-9397 and just leave a voicemail, okay? Or if we answer, of course, fine. But I mean, if not, then leave a voicemail. We'll get the message and we'll help you get what you need, okay? Sorry for some of the growing pains. Some of you have been waiting on literature for a little while, but we have it coming to you, and we apologize that we've got behind on that. Also, if you're new to the call, we do have a new member orientation meeting that Terry Mock runs. And if you have any issues, want to learn about this, people can register on the NTI website. But this is a wonderful way to help members make the most of their networking, okay? Especially their Networking Today experience. The last thing I'm going to make mention of is Networking Today is now on the Cashback app that is out there. Many of you have heard about the Cashback app. Many of you have not. If you share this QR code or this URL and people go to Kroger to shop, JCPenney, Home Depot, Walmart, Shell Gas, Office Depot, all these great companies, Best Buy, someone spends $1,000 at Best Buy, Networking Today benefits when they use the cashback app. Not only the member benefits, but so does Networking Today. So I think there are about 14 million. I might be off on the number there a little bit, but I think there's about 14 million people using the cashback app. If your members, if you'll help me promote this to your members, say, guys, this is an awesome app to help you save. But also it's a way to benefit Networking Today when you use it through the Networking Today link. All right. They're going to save the same amount, whether they use it through Networking Today or not. But this is a way to also be a blessing to Networking Today and help Networking Today grow. And I would personally greatly appreciate that. We had Mark Phillips from Cashback talk about the Cashback app 2 weeks ago on the call. And I'm not sure how many of you heard about the tremendous benefits, but Networking Today is now also a merchant on the Cashback app. So people can join Networking Today through the Cashback app and get money back on their NTI membership. So this is a tremendously powerful way to grow Networking Today and to give our members an additional incentive to buy their Networking Today membership through the Cashback app. If you have questions, reach out to me and I'll introduce you to my good friend Mark Phillips, who will help walk everybody through how this is done. But make sure that you're getting involved with the Cashback app. It is a great app. You should download it yourself. Okay, you really should. I'm getting cashback every week when I shop at Walmart, Kroger. Okay, my wife and I do business with Kroger. We do a ton of business with Kroger. I use my Cashback app. I had to learn how to use it. I buy Papa John's all of the time. Papa John's is on the Cashback app. Every time I buy Papa John's, I get cash back. And it's free. Doesn't cost a thing to use. Okay, it's free. And I want to encourage everybody to get involved with the Cashback app right away. I tell you each and every call that knowledge is power. I'm reading a book right now called The E-Myth Revisited. My good friend Michael Crowder with ACN is one of the strongest ACN members I have ever met. He is the senior vice president with ACN, one of the world's largest multi-level marketing direct sales companies. But Michael Crowder, my good friend, said, Rich, you need to read The E-Myth. I picked it up immediately, started listening to it. The E-Myth Revisited on Audible or in the book form is a book every single entrepreneur, every single business owner, every single meeting leader should read. It is all about delegation. It is all about systems. It is all about franchising. It is all about creating duplicatable systems that we can teach others to do. And that's what we've got for you guys. We've got a system for the visitor host. We've got a system for the business spotlight coordinator. We've got a system for contests. We've got a system in place for these things. And if you need me or meeting leader support to train your people to help you, let's schedule a go-to meeting and get them trained on how to be a visitor host or how to do the business spotlight coordinator or how to do the inspirational thought. Let us at corporate help you, because there is a system in place, exactly what this book talks about, and it is amazing. I mean, my mind has just been blown away with, number one, everything that I'm doing right. Number two, everything I'm not doing so good that it needs improvement. This book will help you, but it won't help you while you leave it on the shelf. It will not help you if you don't read or listen to it. It has no ability to make any impact on you whatsoever if you don't read it, if you don't listen to it, or however you consume, your books. This book is one that should be read. The E-Myth Revisited, Why Most Small Businesses Don't Work and What to Do About It by Michael Gerber is one you, my friend, please believe me, whether you're a meeting leader at Networking Today or not, this is a book that is for you, I promise. Okay, our next call is July the 23rd. Thank you all so much for being on the call. Remember to check the website, the app, your social media in your downtime. Check these resources to make sure that everything is correct for you, okay? and your meeting location. And if it isn't, just let us know so that we can help you. All right. And we can make sure that it's all correct. All right. That being said, I'm going to end the call. I'll see you again in 2 weeks. Anything that any one of you need, please know that we're here for you. And please know that we want to help you grow. Everything that we do at Networking Today and from headquarters here is designed to help us here locally in Knoxville, but also designed to help you out, there where you're at as well in your community, and to grow and to help you succeed. And together we can all change what is happening in networking. And we can really, I see the change that we're making. I wish you could see it. We're making a dent. We're improving people's lives. And I hope that you're seeing that on your end too. Guys, listen, I love you. I thank God for you. Anything I can do for you, you make sure and let me know. Other than that, I will see you all again in 2 weeks.